There needs to be a lot of changes in NHL 24 from NHL 23 in order for people to really start enjoying these games again. I will be honest, we've touched on some of the trailers that EA has put out and the game looks promising. There's a lot of good changes that we're going to see. We've heard a lot of these new features are very unbalanced and very overpowered, but in 3 weeks time, we will be able to judge that for ourselves and see if these changes are actually good for the game. Now, all that aside, the purpose of today's video is one specific change that I was very surprised to hear about, and it's touching on puck rigging. Now, if you do not know what puck rigging is, if you and I are playing, I'm gonna be holding that puck in my defensive zone, circling my zone, passing it around. You're trying to get it, you can't get it, and I'm letting the clock drain down so that I can win by 1 goal, 2 goals. I'm holding that puck and ultimately playing an unfair game, an unenjoyable game, making it super easy to win for myself. Here's the thing, they implemented a rule that gives you a delay of game penalty if you do that for too long of a time. There's an article here that I will take below, you can read for yourself, that basically says it seems to be around the 3-minute mark that you get a delay of game penalty if you are puck rigging in your defensive zone. Here's the question. People who are really good at puck rigging will not only do it in the defensive zone, they will do it in the neutral zone, and they will also do it in their offensive zone. Is that delay of game penalty applied to puck rigging all over the ice, or is it only when you're in your defensive zone? What I want to do is show you that even if you're experiencing puck rigging in old NHL games or the new NHL 24, there is a defense mechanism that you can start applying to prevent this from continuously happening. Let me show you. So this seems like a very obvious tip, and if you're at a higher level, you probably know exactly what I'm about to say. You probably do this regularly already, which is why maybe you don't even have an issue with puck rigging. But I'm gonna show you right now. So what you wanna get in the habit of doing, let's turn that puck over. You wanna get in the habit of switching your players more. So firstly, what I really recommend you do is if you're trying to play more aggressive to prevent that opponent from puck rigging, right on the D-pad all the way forecheck, and then up on the D-pad for full attack. Your defense is gonna be way more effective on attacking the opponent. And that's gonna go for even your AI defenders. The only thing is your AI defenders are probably not gonna be as aggressive as you want. So you're gonna wanna just set it to that, and then I'll show you the next step here. You gotta be in the habit of switching your players more. So look, I got Ambrose, I'm gonna switch away from Ambrose. Ambrose has that opponent, okay? Hits the opponent, I mean, doesn't ultimately get the puck, but it's preventing any potential puck rigging if my opponent wanted to do that, right? Be on the regular with switching your opponents. I got Ambrose, I'm gonna send Ambrose towards my opponent, and then I'm gonna switch players right away. Ambrose is still going to pursue that opponent, and then I can focus on getting another player in position for potential interceptions. Now, you probably, if you watch any of my videos, you see me do this all the time. You gotta be in the habit of switching your players constantly. And it also just throws your opponent off, right? Because what you're doing as you switch your players, your opponent is thinking, okay, they have control of that player. Okay, they have control of that player. They can see the icon above the player that you have control of, right? We all know that. But ultimately, if you just keep switching, you're kind of confusing your opponent a little bit. So look, I'm gonna switch, I got 17, I'm gonna go towards the puck, I'm gonna switch my player and go a different direction. They have that area of the ice, right? Shelton's got that area of the ice, I'm gonna switch to O'Neill and try to get an interception. I end up getting an interception with another player, but you see my point. Get in the habit of switching your players constantly. And what that's going to end up doing is it's going to prevent any puck rigging, because for one, you're going to be able to intercept passes because you're sending your player towards the opponent and you're focusing on another player as well. So it's going to put pressure on your opponent on making decisions, but then you're also going to be able to intercept those obvious passes they're going to make. If your opponent is puck rigging and you're getting frustrated with it and you don't know what to do, you need to make sure you give your defense the focus of being more aggressive with the full attack and full forecheck abilities. And ultimately what you're going to do is you're going to nullify any opportunity for the opponent to puck rig. And that's how you're going to stop your opponent from puck rigging consistently against you. In NHL 24, I think what we're going to see is people are going to be testing this out. Once people find out about this, they're going to test this out, right? They're going to test it out all over the ice. Puck rigging, passing it around, and basically just getting you to chase after them to give them easy goals. But if you get in the habit of switching your players to cover the ice better, you're going to learn a system to really shut that down for your opponent. We'll see you in NHL 24.